The Bunker Project is brought to you by Wix.com, the easiest place to create a website online.
Oh, let me finish my beer. Oh, for free.
Welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. This is episode number 110.
0.5. Well, welcome back, and this is show 110.5 because we did 30 goddamn minutes. And
Hey, you know, every podcast consultant will say, don't record into computer because, you know,
don't record when you're drinking.
At the worst possible time, the computer will crash and you'll lose your recording. Well, they all say go with a digital recorder, and, you know,
yeah, sometimes
first time I've ever had a digital recorder fail.
Well, I don't know about the digital recorder fail. How many beers have you had?
Well, you know, I used to actually...
That's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
There's been several times on the Bunker Show that I actually forgot to push the record button.
Yeah, it's only got a flashing red button. Hello, if you're drunk,
I turned it on to standby. I didn't hit it the second time to put it on record.
Oh,
and then 10 minutes later,
Yeah, well, so
but this time wasn't my fault.
So if you want to listen to what we talked about before, just go to the YouTube because we're recording this.
We'll embed it on the show notes.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So, anyways, let's do the round table. What we're going to be doing to speed it up because we've got whatever. We just say your name and then social tip of the week. So I'm going to start.
And it has to be a different social tip because on YouTube.
This is tough.
So I know because there's only really 12.
Good one.
So let's start with Craig in Australia. Craig, what's your social tip of the week?
Social tip of the week is just be consistent. I mean, if you're going to, time-wise.
Didn't you say that last time? Didn't you say that?
No, it was my name last time.
Oh, yeah, was okay. Okay.
This time, stick to a schedule. If you're going to do it 5 times a day, do it 5 times a day, no matter what the channel is. Just make sure that the people that are seeing you see you at the same time.
All right, cool. I like that. So can I use other people's one? Because I was going to say
just
I
do
really
whatever.
love
Just
Buffer.
do whatever you want.
No. Let's say I said content was king last time, and I want to stick with that. Is if you create content all the time that's original, or you're curating and bringing value to your social media platforms, that is the best thing to do.
I'll buy it. Sup. So I'm Marcel, the sweaty maven. I made it here just in time, which is awesome. My tip of the week, I don't really have one because not only do I know nothing about social media, but I'm also the most socially awkward person that's ever existed.
And you have the best inactive webpage on the internet.
It can be a non-social media tip.
I have an active webpage now, guys. CrazyTVTalk.com. Yo, podcast. What?
That's y'all. Y'all.
No, it's y'all. It's y'all when I want it to be y'all. I think that's all I have. A great tip, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all.
That's what I heard some people say.
Jeff, I'm going off the social media tips and just going with don't eat yellow snow.
Well done.
There you go.
Don't tweet yellow snow.
Oh,
don't tweet it.
Even better.
I'm literally going to disobey you right now.
Well, especially while you're making the yellow snow, right? Hi, Randall Orser at Number Crunchers. My social tip is, maybe just don't be awkward on social media. Just be yourself.
But which can be pretty damn awkward.
Well, I know.
Marcel's screwed.
Bonnie?
Bonnie Sainsbury, fill out your bio properly. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you do, and I want to know where you're from.
Nice.
I don't
And no
care if
friggin'
you're
iPhone coordinates.
bicyclist. I don't care if you're a father. I don't care what you had for lunch. Tell me what you do, and put a link in.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a diatribe. That wasn't a tip.
Good enough.
That's okay.
Margaret, BC Insurance Gal.
Yeah, I know it's tough, isn't it? There's so
It
many.
is
so many
tough.
to choose from.
Okay, here's the most important one of all. If you have multiple Twitter accounts, don't ever do the same tweet on all accounts at the same frickin' time.
I thought you were going to say something about social media foreplay.
I was going to jack that. Thanks a lot.
Oh. All right,
okay.
James
Nobody's listening.
James can
There you
take
go.
it.
pretend we're
Buy a
not listening.
BlackBerry.
Buy a BlackBerry. Yeah, you
Big
can tell
social media tip. If
Yeah.
you like to SMS, buy a BlackBerry.
Actually, that's a good social. So I'm James Carr at Twisted_Magic MAJIC
Richie
because
didn't
I
have
put
to
the
say
J
it, 'cause
in
We weren't
magic.
supposed to be
God, this
doing
is the
that.
show
Listen,
notes. You don't have to
listen.
say that.
Listen,
have to
anyways,
say
my
it.
social media tip is
Listen.
is just remember what all this stuff that you're doing is in the internet forever.
Oh,
good one.
What about that? Oh no, your mom doesn't.
So
have
so
that.
if
Oh,
you're
and
if
what
you
about
have
that?
things that you're ashamed of that you've already posted on social media,
Yeah.
you better fucking accept it.
Exactly, and
'Cause-
never use the word
Change
fuck
your name.
because your
Oh
mother
my
will
god,
hate you.
I've been on this show for over 100 episodes and
used the word-
I
I think that's the
still
first time you
have
ever
no
used
fear.
I know.
So,
You've been here. You've been here since episode 10.
episode 12. So sorry,
Now, who's
98 shows.
counting?
Yeah, who's counting?
No fear, no sense.
How many shows have I been on? 5 or 10 at
Yeah.
least.
But yeah, remember what you
That I
what
can
you-
remember.
Minus 2.
Remember your social media does follow you. So
It does, it
that's my
does.
tip.
I know.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Samari McLeod at Samari M. I think an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So, in response to James' tip, don't drink and tweet.
Do it.
Oh, what about
That's what the
what about drinking and
bunker's
podcasting?
all about.
That's entirely different.
You can podcast.
So different.
All right,
agree.
Bosco Anthony. My first tip was don't be a social media douchebag. This time I'll go with something that Jeff has said, which is don't close me on the first date. I like a little bit of foreplay.
That's a tip for any girls trying to pick him up on Twitter.
Sanj Sukrikar with Genesis Designs. That's Genesis with GSYS.
Enough with the advertising.
I know. My social media tip, is don't try to be on all networks. Just go with a couple networks like Facebook and Twitter, maybe, and do them well, rather than trying to be on all different ones.
And be a man. Be a man.
So focus and do it well.
Ball up, baby.
No cross posting.
You can cross post, but you have to know that it's got to be great content.
Marcel, what do you think about cross posting?
Well, I mean, I don't do it often.
Don't cross the streams.
Wait, you said cross posting. As you guys know, I don't really pay attention to this thing.
He's too busy playing.
You
But
thought we said cross dressing.
I know.
Thanks, Bonnie. Great delayed reaction.
Aye. So, hey, by the way, if you really want to hear this guy for a whole hour, tune into
can I ask
Crazy
a-
TV
can I ask
Joe.
one
Does
question?
anybody really want to listen to him for a whole hour?
I do
Yes.
all the time.
It's brutal.
Yes.
How did West Coast Geeks versus Nerds go?
Oh, I didn't get to go this month.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't show up to watch it then.
Yeah,
Talk.
You know, he can't handle
Okay,
multimedia.
so next
if he's
on the
talking in a mic, he can't
round
get his
table
picture.
is
We've got
the tarts.
Tarts from
Tarty.
Tarts Bakery.
Social tip.
Spicy tart and
Sweet tart?
and
What's your tart tip?
well, we're each gonna give a social media tip. Mine is post lots of pictures of topless tarts on your Twitter account.
Nicely done.
That's a good one.
I'd be there. Yeah,
And mine is don't be afraid to tart it up.
Yeah.
Tarts gone wild.
Tarts gone wild here. Thank
Yeah.
you God for
There's a
take
great
2.
video.
I need to connect these ladies with some other tarts that I know.
I know. I think they're an app waiting to happen.
They got those cupcake girls beat like totally.
Oh yeah, the cupcake.
Hey, we
girls
should
are
have
so
a tart
tame.
versus cupcake war.
I like that. Yeah,
That'd be a good marketing.
that would be a great marketing campaign.
Everybody wins, the cupcakes and the tarts.
You can
Okay.
have your cake and eat it too.
Now we got somebody who's got notes, so this is a serious social media tip. What's your social media tip?
Sherry Dick Y social media. This is an extremely hard group, hard act to follow. I tell you,
Excellent.
as the last person.
We're a pretty hard group here.
Every time
Especially-
she's like, "Oh, that was mine."
Pretty
Especially with
drunk
topless
bunch
tarts.
of
It's
assholes.
hard.
is
Oh
more
yeah,
like it.
that's very difficult. So I'm just going to say that social media is here to stay. So let's jump on board.
Oh, atta girl. Hey, love that one. A classic from way, way back.
Hey, what about
So,
that other
radio.
guy? That other guy right here.
AM
He
radio.
didn't
Oh,
say
hey.
anything. Say
Does he have a tip?
something.
Does he have a tip?
Ta-
he doesn't
say
have
a
a
tip.
No tip.
Who are you?
If you don't have a tip, you have to tell a joke.
Oh, hang on. He's a friend of James. So
He's my coworker. We work on Social Stack together.
So what's that? If he was into giving a tip, what tip would it be?
He actually has a really solid social media following. I don't know why he's being so shy.
Because he likes to type, not talk.
So tell people about
That's not
live,
true.
What about live casting?
It's not true. Okay.
I just don't want to reveal my secrets. That's
That's not very social.
That's your social tip right
That's
there.
a social tip right there. Be
Don't
open.
share your secrets.
Well, no, I think that you should have a level of shareability. I think I read Bonnie posting that a couple of days ago that said, at least give some content back to everybody.
I would
Help
say
them out.
His issue is he can't get a word in on James.
Yeah, it's true. Bear your secrets if they're worth photographing.
That's a
all
swing
I
and a
can say.
miss. That's a bogey.
What ching?
Double.
All right, I have a tip then, I guess.
All right, there we
go.
Goaded him into it. Okay.
All right, so if you don't know what Hootsuite is, learn what it is and tweet.
And avoid it.
And hoot away.
No.
Bonnie used to be a hoot
Buffer
sweet
rule.
girl, but now she's
Bonnie,
a buffer
why?
bitch.
Why? I'm curious. I'm curious.
Because it's old technology, and there are so many other utilities that do things better.
Like what?
I can tweet in my sleep.
Buffer.
You can use Buffer and TweetDeck. There's a lot of utilities that give you better results.
She'd tell you, but she'd have to charge you.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, that's fair. I use
I've
Tweet
used
and
it.
TweetDeck.
I actually do know how to use it.
Yeah.
And it's
good for certain things.
For me, it's clunky old technology.
Well, there's over 115 social media dashboards. My challenge with Hootsuite is that it doesn't recognize Google Plus on the mobile platform.
My question: what's the best platform? Because have you checked out Quora yet?
Quora?
Quora.
Quora.
Yeah, that's not a dashboard. That's a platform.
Sorry, it's something that sounds like Quora.
Quora is a question and answer service.
No, it's a different one. No, that is a good one, actually.
I think if this, then that. I think that's the
one
someone was talking about
Yeah, that's
recently.
very nice.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. Except it doesn't really work very well with
Hey,
Twitter
I want to
right
ask
now.
Margaret how she does her recipe on how to get the free book.
Yeah, baby.
I went on to If This and That, and I searched free Kindle,
Yeah.
and there's tons of recipes available. So whenever one of the Amazon releases one of the top 100 free Kindles, I get an email, and I get about 5 or 6 emails a day.
Yeah.
5 or 6 emails a day for free books.
Free books.
And there's also always a link to the top free 100.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Because I did it, and I started getting all these books that are always free, and I'm more interested
these
in
ones aren't always
the
free.
kind of
but you
deal.
should-
No. If you miss looking at the link by a few hours, the price is not free anymore.
Yeah, that's the one I want. I want the deals.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you have to click on it pretty much. Sometimes they update the top 100 free every hour.
Okay.
Some books will stay on for a few days, but some books are gone within 6 hours.
Okay, I'll
so
check
you
it
can't dawdle. There's one really cool one, 50 Shades of Kale.
Is it a good book?
Well, it's about kale, the food.
Yeah.
It's a recipe. Yeah.
It's a recipe book, but
It's a food book.
All right.
He missed it totally.
I know. Okay, I just have to jump in here. I have tried that, and there was a lot of
Kale?
No, it's targeted towards women.
Hey, I like
because
kale.
there's
What are you doing with
lots
this
of
kale?
romance novels, like there's guys with the scanty.
There's
clad
classics.
guys.
There's classics on there.
a
Tale
lot
of
of
Two Cities, Les
cookbooks.
Miserables.
No, but I'd
science
like to narrow
fiction.
it down to like business books or something like that.
There's actually been a fair few business books that I've scooped off there as well. I mean, there's ones all the time. You just need to stay on top of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 50 Shades of Social.
Oh yeah, but it's painful. It's
very painful.
Okay, so are we done the round table?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did that. Been there. Done
Actually,
that.
I haven't done my tip yet.
Oh, what's your tip?
My tip is to keep your branding consistent across all your social platforms.
Good one.
And maybe you should consider not using a cartoon image. I did that for a long time.
Yeah.
And then when you meet someone and they don't recognize you, and then you have to sketch out your cartoon image. Takes at least a few minutes to do that every time.
Good for you. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we're going to talk about social media.
I got a real quick question for Margaret.
Okay.
Now, the books on Kindle, these are not audiobooks, are they?
No, that's audible.com.
Oh, that's audible.com.
No, these are just Kindle.
Audible is not free.
Yeah, there's this words on a screen.
Actually, if you go to audibletrial.com/bunker.
Oh, right.
You can get a free audiobook, and absolutely nobody has done that yet.
I shall do that.
Exactly. Actually, I wanted a big thing here because we were going to start the show. We forgot. We did some accounting, and it costs Andrew and I about $60 a show to put this on. So what we're going to do is ask anybody that comes to the bunker, physically comes to the bunker, to chip in $5 for 2 shows. That's $2.50 a show. I think that's fair. You don't have to do it this time if you want. We'd really appreciate it. But every other meetup that happens in this town, it's $5, $10, $15, $20. And we put on this party every week, record it, put it out on the internet. Huge value. What do you guys think? Do you think that's fair?
I think that's fair. I mean, it's only fair we pick up your bar tab.
No, that's way more than $5.
No, we can't afford their bar tab.
No. Just the equipment tab. The
I think that's fair.
$1,500 we spend a year on equipment and repairs and stuff like that,
Very
because
fair.
we have one damaged piece
That's
of equipment
fair.
every show.
Yep, that's fair.
So, all right, great. So if you guys could pitch into the end of the show, we really appreciate it. Or if
Here you
not-
go, Bob. First up.
Oh, awesome. Well done. We appreciate
Whoa.
that. We appreciate that. So, okay. Didn't make it past Marcel. Damn it. Yeah. So the thing is that if you listen to the show and you want to support us, we'd really appreciate it if you just go to our website, uncensoredsocialunderground.com. We've got all sorts of fun ways to pay us. If you want to become a Maven, we'll give you a certificate that's designed by me. That's worth at least 5 or 10 cents. Very cool. Grab your own Mavenhood, and it's $5. You get something you can put on your wall and impress your girlfriend or your mother. If not, we do have a fund where if we raise over $1,200, I will get a nasal operation to get rid of my nasal problem, which has got a great thing. Might ruin the show, but who knows?
Don't do
or
that. You
if you want to
couldn't
buy
sing
us
country music anymore.
exactly, or if you want to buy us a beer, you can actually donate $5 for Andrew and I to drink a beer. So lots of ways to donate and give to the show. And of course, we'd like to big shout out to Wix that has been a wonderful sponsor.
Oh, Wixcom.
And, puts up with us not actually mentioning them on some of our shows, which is I would say one of the coolest sponsors in the world.
Well, that's okay because we do mention them at the beginning of every show and at the end of every show, and quite often we do a lot of content about Wix during
And
the
there's
show.
probably some shows that he's probably glad we don't mention it.
Yeah, there's a couple of things we had to edit out about Wix, but it was all in good fun.
Yeah. And also, there was a brief, or actually quite a bit of a period of time where the sponsorship had run out, and we still mention them every episode. So
Sure.
there
We
you
don't
go.
give a
So
shit.
that's
I
what
mean, he
we
was
do.
doing what were we gonna do?
And Craig Griffiths, who's sitting in the...
Yes.
Yeah,
in
let's
the,
bring him up on screen.
Yeah, he actually sent us...
Oh, the beer!
The
Holy
beer.
crap! Yeah, some of the nicest
Holy
cardboard
smokes, and I
packaging in the world.
saw the shipping
One
cost
sec.
on there.
You know what? The reason Craig loves us is because we mentioned him on the show, and when we mentioned him, his daughter found out about it.
He's old. There it
He's
is.
old,
Yeah.
exactly.
Awesome.
And he
A
actually
label fell off a bottle I was drinking.
exactly he got more respect from his teenage daughter. For him, it was worth a lot of money. So he sent us a couple of beers, and we actually, if you go back on our shows, we've got that on our YouTube channel. We actually did a special about us. Your lovely wife made us
Some homemade pizza.
Homemade pizza. It was awesome.
The
Very
uncasing of
French.
the beer.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the unboxing of the beer
yeah.
and then the pouring of the beer and the
Exactly.
pairing with the beer and
Now,
pizza.
if you would like to, if you're from the States, skate very closely to Homeland Security and send us liquid in the mail, please go ahead. We're not responsible if you get busted and thrown in jail and sent down to a small island in a tropical country. But
Which
if we
gets
get the
free
beer,
medical.
Well, there you go. It's true. It's probably
More likely,
Quite
just the liquid will get consumed somewhere along the way.
But we actually had that beer shipped from Australia, arrived Canada Post at my front door. So yes, the mailing system is good for certain things. Just do not say you're shipping beer. Just say promotional material for a trade show. That usually gets it through. Anyways,
It took a couple tries, didn't it?
yeah, well, yeah, a
Yeah,
couple of
it actually
tries.
helps if you put inside a stereo box as well, which
It's true. It's true. It's
works
true.
well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So let's move onwards and upwards and sideways. I would really like to grow our conversation where we were talking about social media tips and tricks, how to use social media to on almost on a corporate level, because we have some experts here. One of the things I have is, everybody's concerned about ROI. How do you talk to a client or somebody that doesn't quite get social media and say, yeah, but what's the ROI? When am I going to see some feedback? How do you battle that type of, knee-jerk corporate reality? It's like, look at, you want like $600 a month for what? And like, when am I going to see returns?
Yeah.
I tell clients 6 to 12 months before they're going to start seeing some return. It's like a radio campaign. It's like TV. And everybody thinks social media is this magic bullet. Oh, you get a Facebook account and suddenly you're making $1 billion.
Yeah.
Sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Well, it can work that way if you've already got a huge following. You can convert those followers. But if you're
but then
if you're starting
you probably
from
know
scratch,
what you're doing. But if you don't have an email list, if you don't have a mechanism on on your page, on your landing page that gets people's emails, what's the value? What do corporate people want? Do they want people's emails? What do they want?
All right, who wants to take this one first?
Actually,
I just have a comment before we start. Show me the ROI on print. Because we've been doing marketing for a long time.
Yeah.
Show me the ROI on print.
What's the ROI in radio? Show me the stats.
Well, it's this warm, fuzzy feeling that you get for being in the newspaper.
I mean, think about
that's
it. But
that's
does
really
anybody
what it is.
really check the ROI on their Yellow Pages ad? Come on, how many people did that?
Well, nobody, because they continue to do it.
So my question is, why does everybody ask what is the ROI on a website? What is the ROI on internet stuff? Because they're jealous, they're fighting us, they're terrified. What is it?
New kid on the block.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, it really comes down to the type of client, and it really comes down to the type of market you're dealing with. We're dealing with guys that don't really care what the ROI is. They just want us to be social, and those are the type of clients that are the best clients, because they'll tell you 6 months, a year, I want us to be blogging, I want us to be social, I want us to be doing this.
Get us out there.
Get us out
For
there,
God's
basically.
sake,
And those are the clients that you want to look for.
Can I jump in for a second?
Absolutely, Craig, jump in.
Okay. The problem with this is that electronic media is so measurable with things like Google Analytics and all this sort of stuff. So people expect really defined ROIs. What's the conversion from a click to this? You don't know how many people drive past your billboard or how many people are listening to the radio station or whatever. And the thing they don't like to hear is that you're going to have a 1 in 10,000 conversion. But you're looking at a planet of 6 billion people. We're not talking about a town of 100,000. So a 1 in 10 million conversion isn't a bad thing when you're talking about the entire planet. But people don't want to hear those small numbers, and they think the internet is incredibly measurable through all the analytics, through pay-per-click, and everything we've taught them that is incredibly measurable. And now they want us to measure.
I think one of the things that's interesting is if you have a product that you're selling, you are selling it to people, which means you're in the people business, which means you're in the social business, because social is about people. And if you don't get that, if you can't converse with your customer face to face, well, obviously you can't do it online. And online is just social connection. And if you have customers, you need to be in the space.
Well, an offline advertising salesperson will sell you on branding. They'll say that you're getting goodwill and you're getting, recognition and branding out of being in the newspaper or magazine or whatever it is. And online, because just like Craig was saying, you've got all these analytics and everyone wants conversions and all that kind of stuff, but you still get the branding out of it too. You still get your brand in the people's face.
People are to sell the idea of reach and frequency all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the currency of ROI is just money for social media is so old school. Today's currency for ROI on social media is exposure, partnerships, affiliations. Let's face it. I spoke at the convention center for the first time, and it certainly wasn't because of my tan looks or the fact that I can spear chuck all the way. For my hunting skills.
Was your hat.
But you do have a great tan look.
It was your hat.
I think at the end of the day, it really came down to the fact that a bunch of people were listening to my social platforms, and they said, hey, you seem to know what you're talking about. You want to come and take the stage, right? So at the end of the day, social currency really comes down to what's it doing for your business versus what's it doing for your paycheck.
The other thing that was really awesome, though, is that Bosco was doing that nobody else at that whole thing that was talking on stage was doing, other than Gary Vaynerchuk, was actually tweeting along with us.
Yeah.
Like most of those other people are looking at us like, what are these dicks doing like on their phones tweeting out? And it was like, well, we're actually talking right now.
Yeah.
And we're critiquing your every moment. And I mean, like Randall and Jeff and I I was mostly just retweeting all you guys because you were taking the good content and putting it up there. And I'm like, I'm more than willing to share your thoughts that you got down faster than I could.
You know what was the saddest thing? I was at a social media event, and I was the only speaker that was actually using the social media platforms, which is kind of sad.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Was the rest biz dev?
Yeah.
I think when the media was talking with Gillian Shaw from the Sun, she actually I think was tweeting during that time.
Yeah.
And
She
she was
was.
the only one.
That's
The
cool.
other
Well,
guys
that's
were-
sad.
George Moen was doing it too.
And George was
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could probably list off like 25 people that were actually at the event tweeting.
Maybe what we need to say is like ROI. It's not return on investment. It's reach out, idiot. It's like
Yeah. Yeah,
Show
I
up.
like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Reach out.
A lot of
idiot,
people don't realize, that you just have to go out there and talk to people, and then you can be more successful because you're actually reaching a message.
Well, it's people understanding and trusting you. That's what ROI.
Yeah.
That's what the ROI is.
Yeah.
Like I've been to so many events where I've come in. A lot of people know me, but I'll sit down. I don't know the person beside me, and I'll start chatting with them, and they say, "Oh, you're Bob Garlic. I know all about you. You do this and you do this and you do that." And say, "Oh, cool. What do you do?" So I don't have to talk about me. I've already got the respect, and then I can talk to them and say, "So what? I'm a race car driver, and I can get into his life." And by doing that, and not having to worry about talking about me because it's already covered, they love me even more because I'm just interested in them, and that is the secret of conversation. Is being very interested in the other person's life, not your life.
One of my favorite quotes is, "You've got 2 ears and a mouth for a reason."
Yeah,
So
exactly.
listen more and talk less.
So-
but I talk so much.
And for podcasts, you've got one microphone and a headset.
No
stereo
sense of
headset.
irony.
So
on
it's
you,
more
James.
return on influence. We call it getting famous.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, or trust. You're
The
getting
Kardashian
trust.
syndrome.
Yeah, but
If you're doing it correctly.
Yeah, there's a difference between being known for being a thought leader and being known as a social media douche, I guess is the word. Yeah.
So we now have
SMD.
Yeah. social
Oh, you're
media
one of those
douche.
SMDs. Yeah. I've been working on it for almost 3.5 weeks.
That's when I retweet
Well, it does
you.
sound like an STD, doesn't it?
Well, it is a disease.
SMD.
Yeah.
It's a disease. It's the same
I-
people that do push marketing all the time, right?
Yeah.
I believe
absolutely.
we have a new hashtag.
Oh, nasty.
SMD.
Hey,
SMD.
Bonnie, what's the hashtag for this show so people
That
listening
could stand
can
for a
hashtag
lot
it?
of things.
Bunker Project.
Bunker Project.
Yeah, hashtag Bunker Project.
Yeah.
There.
I'm not actually tweeting today. I'm mad.
No,
Yeah,
I
we're
I'm
just
having
too
too
drunk.
much fun to tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
your
that's it.
galaxy
No, I
break,
did
James?
early.
It's a great. Don't.
I'm gonna come over there and
Don't
bust your
ruin
golf
an event
clubs.
by trying to be too social.
Yeah.
He
Get
dropped
into the
it,
event,
didn't he?
appreciate it. You know how hard it is to put on a goddamn event and have people
Yeah.
turn up. Appreciate the event.
Yep.
Don't be an asshole and tweet out the whole time. Like,
Well, no,
oh,
no,
no.
I'll disagree with that.
Be conscious.
I
of
will
the event.
disagree. You
All
should
right, why?
you should tweet most of the time if there's speakers. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
Tweet out the messages that you're
Or
getting.
just
You've
hire
paid to be
someone
there.
to tweet it for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you have the networking setting
Yeah.
center, don't sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Don't
You-
network
I
people.
know.
FP Reach, because of like all of
SMD.
us, started to trend across Vancouver. I mean, as an event organizer, you want to see that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
your return for the people
Yeah.
that you get.
Oh, huge. And
Well, I
really,
mean, there was when we had the social media club here.
Yeah, we started trending.
There was a lot of people
We
that
were
didn't
trending.
speak on the mic, but they were just like
tweeting
on,
like freaking crazy
on their
Yeah.
phones
I know.
and just
Yeah.
tweeting the
It
whole
was
show.
hard to shoot them because all I got the top is their head
I
because
think
they're bent down all the time.
If it's something that you're listening to and you're getting content from it, tweeting it out is great.
Yeah.
I think it's like Bob said. If you're at a networking event, you're supposed to be meeting people. Then
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't be tweeting.
Pick your
On the
pick your time.
contrary.
Pick your time
Time,
to choose.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
who's
disagree.
contra? Okay,
I'm-
contrary.
Go.
Mary quite contrary. When I was at the FP Reach event, I connected so much better with the people who I was interacting with on Twitter than
Yeah.
if I was going up to
there you
some
go.
random stranger
Yeah.
without having any icebreaker whatsoever.
Sure.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And then when Social Stack comes out, you'll have that to use. Too.
Now let's talk about. Okay, I would like to do this. We got like a room full of social media geeks here. When you're doing physical, not like virtual meeting people, you're in a situation where there's a hi, how you can shake people's hands. How do you use social media to game the conversation? Hi, I'm Bob Garlic. Do you have a tweet handle? Because I'd love to tweet out about you. Do you ever use that angle? Do you ever use that strategy?
I used to use it with Hashable back when they were still existing.
Cool. So what did you used to say? Hey,
No, well,
James
Hashable
Carr from-
allowed you to send a virtual card to the other person And so every
Is that
time
where you
that
got
I
that idea?
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
As he looks at me with his stony
No,
eyes.
that's not the case. But I mean, it was allowing my network to see who I was connecting with, and then they could maybe go look and glean some more information off that.
Exactly.
I think it's like,
but most people that you're in a social engagement, you go to like the Vancouver Board of Trade or Burnaby Board of Trade or wherever, the Yahoo Board of
if
Trade.
you're going to be in the room,
And
be in the room.
You're there. Hi, how you doing? I'm James Clark from Twisted Magic.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a Twitter account? Great. What's your hashtag that you like to use? Let me tweet that and help you. You know, that is a great conversation. Oh, wow, you're really into social media. And says, hi, I do gaming. Let's talk about my business so I can sell you.
The thing
they don't
is,
want to hear that.
The thing is, this day and age, I think everybody wants to be more collaborative rather than trying to chop each other's heads off because, you know, you want a sense of community, and Twitter and Facebook and those sort of things are the tools that are helping us create that kind of community
But you
and
really
promote
think
those messages.
Right, but what I'm saying is...
I mean, I don't really know Jeff's business, but I know that I respect him for what he does in the golf industry.
He's got a hell of a
and
slice.
The same with,
He's got a hell of a
same
slice.
with like Randall. Or,
oh, no, those are the
or
hit a hook.
Sanch or anything like
Girls.
that.
Yeah. And you know, same likewise. I know James through social, and we wouldn't have the connection and the ability to have the rapport that we have in this room if it wasn't for social.
Yeah, we
So-
chatted back and forth on Twitter. He'd be like, "Man, the Canucks suck." I'd be like, "Yeah, that happens."
Yeah, let's go have a beer at the bar.
And then
Never
we'd have a
say
beer.
that. I say Luongo.
Oh,
I think complimenting
You're just
people
thinking they all
socially.
You're gonna have to come up with a new excuse.
I think complimenting someone socially is kind of like social hugging, right? It feels good. It's hard to measure, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you need to do it. I think that it's a great cost per acquisition tool. If I'm going to use myself as a personal example, you know, I didn't really have a big Twitter following, but through the speaking keynotes, it's been a great tool for picking up leads. And you know, at the end of the speaking's awesome. I think at the end of the day, you just have to capitalize on what you're saying. It's not really what you're doing; it's how you're doing it and what you're saying that's more important.
And hey, Bosco, I hear you have some awesome speakers coming up.
And yes, shameless plug. I got
Next
Margaret
Wednesday
and Randall
for sure.
Next
Oh,
Wednesday.
This
killer.
must cost a fortune, Bosco. What are you paying these people?
Yeah, they've drunk half of it.
A lot of beer.
Lots of beer.
Yeah,
and soon to be lots of tarts.
Gotta love tarts.
Yeah. So I think really comes down to the fact that you know it really comes down to context and what you're saying and how you're doing it. And you know, it was something silly for me. I was like, I'm going to do the Mexican wave on stage, and these guys started waving.
Yeah, there was like three of us.
Oh,
It was
we
me,
were there.
It was me and Bob and Felice.
Yeah,
We're the only
I mean,
people paying attention.
And that little thing brought me here today. So you know, do the math yourself.
I think
I just didn't know what the Mexican wave was. Would have done it.
And the other thing is it actually falls into the Craig Griffiths school of advertising because he sent you guys 2 beers.
All right, so let's see it. I want to see the Mexican.
Well, no.
one.
Craig, what's
The next wave is just simply put your hands up and
Yeah.
drop it down, and then somebody else does it, and you do it. Round
That's a
and round.
Canadian
That's
way.
the Vancouver way.
So it's the wave.
It's the way.
So what you're telling me is Mexicans are lazy. That's what you're telling me.
But didn't you guys like?
That's why it translates very
That's
well
awesome.
to the Vancouver way.
I
That's
think
why.
they call it the Mexican wave because it was originated due to the World Cup when it was hosted in Mexico. And
Ah.
basically,
So-
here's some fact for you right
It took
there.
half an hour for the wave to go
Yeah,
around. It's
pretty
like,
much,
what? Hand me the tortilla.
Yeah,
let me
El
do a couple
Nacho.
of- Yeah.
So just to back up for a step, because he didn't get to do it,
What,
and he
the
should
wave?
do the shameless plug for Bosco's meetup coming up because his 2 speakers
Oh,
who are
yeah,
on
yeah.
board are going to be fantastic.
Plug
so
that
Bosco,
sucker.
to you, plug it.
All right, so Tuesday is Tuesday? No, Wednesday.
Wednesday, the
Typical
17th.
social media bastard.
That's my second beer.
Wednesday-
October 17th, Randall and Margaret will be taking on the stage.
Awesome.
Randall's going to be talking about how to game the government.
Awesome.
And Margaret's going to talk about how
How
to
to cheat on your taxes.
That's right.
How to save your ass.
Yeah, if
Yes.
the government comes after you, breaks your legs, how you
Yes.
can get covered.
So that was yesterday.
What's the meetup group?
17th, ING Cafe.
Wait, I'm so sorry. This already happened.
No, they're using your time travel
Back
mechanic.
to the future. Back to
As
the
somebody who knows nothing about anything, how does one
Okay,
get
it's
tickets to
happening
this?
today.
How do you get tickets
I
to
would
this?
believe that. Legit though, how do you get tickets and how much? Because I don't know anything about anything.
It's free, and it's at ING, and the meetup group is the Internet Marketing Think Tank.
Oh, the ING downtown on Pender.
Yeah, ING,
Awesome.
yeah.
Hey, by the way, people that have an event, check out ING, the coolest bank in the world, by
Yep.
the way. They're not a sponsor, but we'd love them to be.
Yeah, ING. We're looking at you.
But they've got this space that any business or
Yep,
person that can do
entrepreneur.
an event there. Very, very
And you
cool.
should tweet at CEO_ING direct and tell them you should sponsor the Bunks
Hey,
Project.
by the way, what's the hashtag for those that event you're doing?
It's going to probably be hashtag
Don't get
Bosco
busted.
Anthony.
Oh, really? Oh, you're such a slut.
You're not using hashtag Bosco anymore.
Actually,
eh?
we should go with the hashtag Bosco because
Yeah,
there's a
'cause you
rapper
get
down
all-
south and
yeah.
they
No,
start to
it
trend
should
in
be.
Vancouver.
It should be Bosco Ing.
Hey, you know what?
ING Bosco.
ING is not going to be ING as of December. They just got bought out by Scotia Bank.
Oh no! Oh no! But you know what?
I
The
thought
big-
Scotia was actually going to keep ING as a separate entity.
they'll keep it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to be the same entity of as
No,
ING.
no.
But
It's
you know
gonna
what?
suck now.
There's
No,
Scotia's
it
bitch.
won't. No, it's gonna be awesome because apparently they're giving out free Screech.
That's only in Newfoundland.
Now, guys, you gotta have to look that up if you're Screech is a very nasty
Dirty rum.
alcohol.
You haven't lived till you drank Screech.
Yeah, drink
well,
Skeets
haven't
because of
died.
cause.
Hey,
We're not talking Dustin Diamond, right? We're not.
No, but he was here the other day at
No.
Vancouver MegaCon,
Oh,
and that's a good segue for.
And he
a
probably
good segue
wasn't free.
for Virginia Beach McDonald's adds free iPads.
oh, well done, Andrew.
Free iPads to the menu.
Jesus Christ, we
And
didn't know
there
how we were gonna
goes
work that
James.
sucker in. Jeez.
James is giving away.
I
free
know. He
iPads.
wanted gaming with James. Now
Oh,
he's leaving.
James has left
James.
the house.
Gaming with James is
is
in
going
7
for a
minutes.
slash.
Yeah.
A 7 minute. That's a long slash,
So
dude.
does he just does he just not like any Apple products? Or? I was just kidding. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's my first time.
Just
so-
a douche.
SMD.
media.
Hashtag
No,
SMD.
James was looking forward to the iPhone 5.
Oh, okay.
And
Seriously looking for.
No, he was.
the day of the launch, he was going to buy the iPhone 5. And
gonna
the day
buy
of
it.
the launch, he's like,
That sucks.
and
You want to know why?
not only that, he went
couldn't
straight.
afford
He
it.
went straight
afford
to
it.
the to Rogers and bought a.
I went and got a Samsung Galaxy S3 3
Yeah.
hours after.
Oh, and he's been having sex with it every day. He is so excited about that phone. Holy crap.
God for the porn app.
It's the best
He
thing
is
I
so
possibly-
in love with his
Yeah.
phone. It is.
It is
It's sick.
ridiculous.
It's
Yeah, it's
pornographic,
sick.
isn't it?
Turning
Yeah.
our mic off.
Yeah, it's
It
wrong.
is seriously the best thing. iPhone
He's a
totally
young
took
man.
a bail on on this iPhone 5, like Bluetooth 4.0. You know, having the ability for NFC.
Yeah, it doesn't do Windows.
Like, it does. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got all this open source software that's really good. It's not a closed wall environment. Lots of different distros you can get. I mean, it totally. If you're an advanced user for a phone, it's way better.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
I said the same
And
thing.
there's lots of malware for it too now.
There's a lot of malware
Oh,
for it. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
and like Apple does.
Well,
And I
there
think
was
the
somebody-
adapter is different too.
Well, somebody asked me on Facebook. It's like, should I get an iPhone or should I get an Android phone? Like the what is it? Something 3.
Yeah, get whatever makes you feel good about
Yeah,
it.
well, exactly. That's what I said. Look,
Absolutely.
if you
Don't-
want a simple phone
Yeah, get an iPhone.
that has a good battery and your
you're
parents will
Canadian,
like,
yeah.
get an iPhone.
And if you,
But if you want a cutting edge piece of technology that will kick ass,
Get a
and,
Tart.
BlackBerry.
Exactly.
and has
Blackberry.
a Tart
Blackberry
app.
tart. Blackberry tart.
Yeah, wait until
BlackBerry Tart.
wait until
Who
January
is
or
that woman?
February.
Until
and-
January, February, and
Take
then
a
you
look
can
at
actually be
BlackBerry
like
10, and if you like it,
17%, what
get it.
Tech 5's article said, 17% of Canadians are looking forward to BlackBerry 10. So,
But they're all in an institution.
In Nova Scotia.
but if-
No, the government is going with the iPhone.
there's a lot of people that are looking
Well.
forward to BlackBerry. So.
When
You
I
know
when
what?
I got
Their
my BlackBerry,
BlackBerry
I'm not a
work
fan of
on it.
anything. I got a BlackBerry. I walked in the store. I'm like, "What do you give me for free?" They're like, "A BlackBerry." I was like, "Hey, cool. I'm a tart. I'm easy." So
Yeah, no.
I've had a BlackBerry ever since. So
In that same vein, I'm using an old broken BlackBerry that doesn't have a back to it because I don't have money and can't afford an actual real phone.
I must say,
But
mine's
must
spastic.
say-
Mine's spastic. It's like got Tourette's. It like the scrolling.
In other
jumps
news,
around.
if anybody wants to donate to Marcel's new phone,
I
It's
must say
worth
though,
It's hashtag
honestly,
Marcel
I'm
phone.
too much of an idiot to pick a lane here, but I think James should win the argument because his T-shirt has a picture of Godzilla fighting a puffin.
Fighting a puffin.
That's pretty cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and the puffins win.
And James wins.
Oh, with a puffin.
Anyways, that was a major
puffin just
digression,
shit all
so I'm
over.
going to have a big.
I'm gonna have a shot of goddamn tequila. That was so big. Yo.
So who would go to McDonald's because they have iPads?
not.
Not.
Who would?
Well, at Virginia
Okay, wait a
Beach,
hold
they
on.
Who
come
even-
in
Wait a second.
crowds.
Who even goes to
eaten
McDonald's?
I've eaten
Oh,
at
having
McDonald's
iPads
once
no
in
is
my
not
life.
even special. There's so many restaurants that are
Twice.
doing it these days.
I've
There's
been
so
McDonald's
much
clean for a year.
iOS software.
Really?
Oh, totally. I wrote a piece on a company that's based in Vancouver called Ofen Software, and it was originally founded by 3 guys about 10 years ago. And if you go to Blends or you go to Vija's, Those are both customers of theirs, and all of their orders at Vija's are put into iPod Touches that are sent back.
Oh,
to
no,
the
no, no,
kitchen.
no, no, no. But I mean, like,
for
actually
customers.
have
Giving it
iPads
to the
mounted on the
customers.
tables so that
Yes.
when you go and sit and eat your Big Mac, you have an iPad in
Yeah.
front of your
Well,
face.
then
But
that's
the
just going to get
downside-
messy.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
But the
it?
problem is
Yeah, that's what
you
it says
have
here.
to
It
pay
says,
for the Wi-Fi.
You know, that retina display is
pay
going to
for
be
your
pretty
Wi-Fi.
greasy by the end of every day,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
You're
So
gonna
I
have
guess
to
it's
have-
just Angry Birds.
Yeah,
And
$10 a
and
minute.
Apple is going to send a genius to polish every single one of them every hour.
Well,
You
at
know
least
what?
Apple has geniuses.
Hey, what about the? Hey, what about
That's what
those
you
Nexus
call
7 $99 units? Oh, sorry.
We're past
I'm
that.
just mongering. Sorry.
Yeah, we're past that.
Oh, God,
well, that's 'cause they're made
just
out of
so
Anyways,
want
you know.
it so badly because I can
Very
save
cheap.
$100.
McDonald's isn't getting me in their doors with
No.
because they got me.
Oh,
No.
I know. Okay,
I
so
don't feel like a stroke.
But they do have Wi-Fi
I look
because
like
I
a
walked past and there was a sign on the door thing that said they had free Wi-Fi at McDonald's.
okay,
Buses in
so
Sydney.
my
I
my
don't-
question is my question is for totally out of this Bob style. There's a guy and he's got this amazing advice. It's a deadbolt you can put on your door, and if somebody comes in and they say, hey, let me in. And you say, yeah, no problem. And you see who it is, and you can hit, and it'll unlock the deadbolt for you. Isn't that amazing? So they got rejected for Kickstarter, right? They said, what the fuck? We'll do it ourselves. $1.5 million they've raised in
something like
2 weeks.
$100
In 2 weeks.
million.
$100 million. It looks like an iPad.
That was rupees.
It's weird. It's like it looks like an
So,
iPhone
yeah, they hadn't-
deadbolt. It's crazy.
They
with the
had,
radical
uh,
voice. They're
So
gonna
what
get
does it
sued.
do?
They're
Isn't
gonna
it
get
called
sued.
Lecutron or something?
No,
or
it's just no.
Yeah, Locatron.
iPad.
Locatron. That's
yeah,
it,
it's called Locatron.
So what does
Okay,
it do?
I have to ask, guys, how does one get rejected from Kickstarter? Like, there are rules?
Yeah, there's lots of rules.
Yes.
Twit,
Crazy TV Talks has been rejected.
you know
already.
the Twit network, This Week in Tech.
Yeah,
They applied for their brick house and they got rejected
really?
because they're an existing business.
Oh.
It has to be a startup.
So what does
Their
this
brick
thing
shithouse
do?
got rejected.
It's got an iPad on
Hey, you
your
don't like
outside, and you.
No. What it's a
And it
deadbolt.
opens.
It's a deadbolt that interfaces with your smartphone. So you're sitting in your living room, and somebody comes to your front door.
I'm
and
sorry, you can't get off your ass to answer the door.
Yeah.
What the
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Hey,
What if you sit
some
on the
people
toilet?
have stairs. What happens if you're
sit
having
on
a
the toilet?
crap? It's like,
People could be
yeah,
watching Breaking
I'm
Bad
halfway through number two.
and listening to
But-
crazy TV talk at the same time.
Exactly. So look at if you have
They
an
can
iPad,
wait.
I could be in a bunker project, I mean, I got to let people in my place.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Exactly.
point. Like, what if you're not even
Make
home
some
and
popcorn.
I mean,
your
even-
relatives come
What
home?
about all
You
the
can
Trust
open
your
the door
relatives that much?
remotely.
What
That's
about all
awesome.
the grow up
Every
operations in
14-year-old
Kelowna? I mean, that's
Exactly.
perfect.
Police knock on the door.
Yeah,
can you
let me
get-
let yourself
Okay,
in
wait
for
a
sure.
second.
Watch
We
out.
still-
for
Hey, you know, I
lands
never
are
thought of
hot.
that.
Okay, one conversation.
There is so many applications. for
There's
this.
so
It's
many
not even
conversations.
funny.
Anyways,
But they had a goal. They
love
had a
that
goal
concept.
of $150,000.
1.5 million.
1.5 million.
And
Booka!
they hit the 150,000
Okay,
within
I need to kickstart something. I could use
24
1.5 million.
God,
Yeah, I know,
Me
eh?
too.
Oh, please.
Oh, by the way,
I'll go right
totally
down the
fucking
tube for one
useless.
apartment.
Why don't we put Bunker Project on Kickstarter and just say it's
Whoa,
starting?
Yeah,
I think
that would save us
Kickstarter is,
$5 a week.
Oh, yeah? And that'll bring the other 300 members in a meetup group here like nothing else.
I think
There we go.
Kickstarter-
That's cool.
Guys,
Well, that's what
trying
app.net
to make
did.
an aggressive point here while we're all rambling about nothing.
That's the bunker.
That's the
that
bunker
point
slap.
was-
Speaking of nothing, isn't it time
no,
for?
shut up, James. I'm making the point. I think Kickstarter's being pretty gay. Just saying.
No,
Hey, watch
Oh!
I'm with
Watch
Marcel.
your
I think
tone.
that there's a
Not
lot
cool.
of Kickstarter not really going on right now.
Tell me how that's not cool. I'm serious.
People are crowdfunded out.
You tell me how me calling Kickstarter gay is not cool. I want to know. I just want to know.
You can
you
tell
dead
by his
serious?
beard, okay?
Dude,
Oh, he's
I am
serious.
the gayest person in the universe. You tell me why that's wrong. Just do it.
He's gonna dress up as Princess
Oh,
Peach
no, he's
for
not.
like for
He's just
Halloween.
putting it on. He's
There's
as
a big
straight
fight
as an
happening.
arrow. No,
You
truly,
can't tell
truly.
by his mustache. I don't know what you can tell.
Words
by.
have power.
Well,
Words
if you
have
listen
power.
to his show, he does a
Hey, he's been
podcast.
growing
It
that for
doesn't
6
sound gay at
months, eh?
all.
And if you listen to the progression of Marcel, it definitely has gotten a little more.
I'm really sorry to make this about me, but legit, I have this headset I record on my podcast with, and my boyfriend says that it just makes me sound more gay and it adds a lisp to my voice. Bob, is this accurate?
Hey, that BlackBerry really has no backing.
Is it a pink headset?
To each his own.
Yeah, well, we were recording this podcast. I'm saying, we're having a lot of trouble with your mic. Why isn't the mic working? I said, what are you doing right now? I said, well, I'm lying down with some pillows, and I got the pink chiffon over me, and I got the little puppy
I'm a
dog
fan,
licking my face.
I'm a fan of that
it's like,
podcast.
I'm so gay.
Wait,
I'm
Bob.
loving the pillow action. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hey, I'm a fan of the pillow
Like, we have
talk.
the pink
I
bow
tell
in
you,
your
if you
headset.
have, if you have a Logitech mic, it's
Marcel.
a very macho brand, and it cannot handle.
I'm a fan
gay
of your
lisp,
show.
but that's all I can say.
But you're popping your peas. You need a new mic.
Well,
He does that on.
It shouldn't be on a
First
podcast.
off, I'm
Yeah,
used
he
to
should be
my
popping his peas.
Second off, everything Bob said is accurate. Third off, thank you, Andrew. That was awesome. Also, Kickstarter's pretty gay. Can we get back on topic, guys? I did not mean to do this.
Because you know what time it is.
And this is the guy that does a 1-hour show talking about TV shows. I can't believe it. I mean, he goes on and
Hey,
on.
I want to know what you thought about.
I don't get to talk about anything.
Did you watch Big Brother?
Oh, yeah.
He's a big fan of Big Brother.
What do you think of that guy that won?
Oh, Ian? Awesome. I thought it was great that it came down to the superfan versus the former winner that was a douchebag, and that's all.
Sorry, this show has been interrupted
Marcel,
because of
if you can overtalk Bob, kudos to you.
That's Marcella-vision.
Thank you.
Herculean feat.
No,
Anyways.
I tell you, we do 1-hour show. What I get 7, maybe 8 seconds of input. Is it,
We did a huge plug for Crazy TV Talk last episode, and Marcel missed it.
I
And
know.
now it's time for
What time is it?
Gaming with James.
Yay!
Gaming
Wow,
with James.
yeah, kill that monitor. Whoa, yeah. Whoop.
I love that theme music.
It's the voiceover guy that's coolest.
Yeah, his eyebrows kind of make some weird noises though when he's talking about it.
It's true. They brush up
It's true.
against
It's true. So I guess it's time for gaming with James. So what does everybody want to talk about?
Hey, what's
Hey,
that
wait a minute,
big?
hang on a
What's that
second.
huge? There's a huge issue in the gaming industry that's happening right now.
What is it?
I forgot.
Oh, well, I do know the one that Bonnie will be very interested in.
Yes.
And Angry Birds Star Wars is coming out very shortly.
Hey, they just came out with Piggies.
They did. Bad Piggies just released. It became their best-selling game in less than a day.
Cool. See, I told
Wait, is
ya.
that like the pigs taking revenge on the birds?
No, it's kind of like you have to make them so they don't die.
That's pretty gay.
Yeah.
Then you had to make them fly.
No, it is fun. It's called.
I want to kill things.
Well, I heard it's pretty good. I heard that it's not just like
Okay.
it's not just like the same thing, but that you're the pigs.
Yeah, you're the pigs, and you're basically creating these little contraptions to make sure they don't die. And it's kind of a different game. They actually went from 0 to I believe the top of the App Store in less than 24 hours. So good on Rovio. And speaking of Finland,
Are they in Dublin? Dublin yet? I thought they were moving to Dublin.
Well, they are moving, but I mean they're still based in Finland. Was where they came from.
But they're moving over to Dublin because they've got good black beer.
Well, they're. I think they'll probably keep an office still
Cheaper
in
taxes.
Finland.
Cheaper taxes.
But
Come on, it's really about the beer.
So, anyways, another one that's a big one is a Finnish company by the name of Supergiant Games. They've been just killing it. So Finland, with a population way less than other places, is killing it with 2 awesome social game companies. So that's one
So
thing.
it's called
in
Super
Giant, I believe.
Super Giant Games.
Yeah. And then there's a Supergiant here in Canada. They did a game called Sword and Sorcery. So if you're into the old school stuff, it's on iPad.
Hey,
and
I was
PC.
I was listening to Twit today, and they were saying that the whole mobile gaming thing is kind of like Atari back in the day, when people are just throwing out.
It's vaporware.
It became this huge popular thing, and so they just started throwing out title after title after title, and it just became like these low quality.
Yeah, I mean that's
games.
that's why we had this argument. I think it was I guess 2 shows ago about being on iPhone versus being an Android or BlackBerry. It's become such a convoluted environment that it's hard to get your messaging out. And the other thing that happened with iOS 6 is they've changed the way that you actually can search for stuff. So as opposed to the old way with 25 items on a list. I was just getting a picture taken of me. Now you have to go page by page. So they're also changing their SEO too. So people are going to try to game it, but I think it's actually worse for developers because it's harder for people to find their games. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 6 months.
Hey, I got a question. How's EA Sports doing?
They're actually doing really well, man.
Yeah?
EA is quite popular still. I mean, Madden just released. It was really popular.
FIFA just came out.
FIFA, oh, man. FIFA is the number one selling sports game entirely in the world.
Yep.
And they still sell more copies on the older systems everywhere else in the world than they do here.
Yep, and I actually was told that because of their pretty big online interactive community, both online and also when you're playing the games, there's a lot of people that are incorporating their social media platforms for their high scores and everything else as well. So
yeah, it's actually really interesting to see how gaming's taking on the social platforms.
Yep.
If you don't have Twitter or Facebook integration right now with your games, you're going to probably miss out on some huge virality challenges that you could possibly take on.
Yep.
The thing that's also interesting the boss was mentioning, and I don't think I've ever talked about it, is actually in FIFA, you have the ability to choose your own team that you really support, and all the matches you play as that team, and if you win or just play with them, that points go to the actual team, so you get an actual worldwide leaderboard of fans supporting the teams, which is super interesting.
Well, that's super gamification.
Well, it's not really gamification. It's more just
leaderboards,
interaction.
It's interaction. Yeah, I think the term gamification,
rewards for interaction.
Yeah,
right?
I think gamification is a good word.
Yeah.
And in my last year, I've gone from hating gamification because I thought it was very shallow to finding that it's
matured.
It's maturing a little bit, but I think it's because people like me and Jane McGonigal and other people are finally kind of realizing that we can make this deeper of an experience, and actually having fans of these brands can really extend the lifetime of your product.
Yeah, I definitely.
And I think the future for games is actually bringing in your own advertising platforms into the games. They've already started off with advertising platforms within video games, but they're saying that the future of video games is you as a player could actually showcase your website or your Twitter handle on an actual character.
Well, if you had the money. I was talking to a video
so you're
production
sponsoring
company.
your own character.
Pretty much.
I like
That's
that.
pretty cool.
I like that. I mean, pro gaming is pretty popular these days, and those companies do make a lot of money sponsoring different people, like Fatality.
But the highest grossing games are not games that are paid. They're games that are
free.
Well,
no in-game purchases.
Bosco's correct. I mean, freemium gaming is the most largest chunk of the pie right now. If you go to the top grossing games, they're all free to play with in-game transactions.
Yeah,
a lot of businesses are starting to create mobile apps that are games as well, because apparently it's a great lead acquisition tool. A lot of internet marketers that used to do stuff in the States are now starting to build a lot of mobile apps and video games through cell phones too.
But that's targeting a specific demographic.
Yeah,
it is a youth demographic.
The new
and
generation.
Of course, that's where the big money is, because the youth demographic, those are people with time and money.
Well, the other thing we're talking about here is advergaming, and that's kind of a different sense than just gamification of your actual brand. Like anybody can do badges, anybody can do points
Ford
and stuff
does,
like that. Yeah. But I mean, does that actually increase retention and other things like that? Not really.
Well, maybe long-term brand building. And guys like Ford and McDonald's and stuff, they're talking 15, 20 years.
Yeah. And one of the guys that actually, I think you posted the article, the guy's been on the show, Yuka Chow, who's a great game.
Awesome dude.
He's a great guy.
What did you think of that?
His Octo
pretty crazy.
It's kind of interesting. He had his 8 different pillars that he wrote about. I think that some of them aren't really necessary, especially with like Farmville the way it is. I think they're using more black hat, because he actually coined the term white hat versus black hat, and I thought that was really interesting, because a lot of their mechanics are basically just retention mechanics that create fear. And I don't think as a person you really...
Fear of rejection or fear of losing?
Fear of losing stuff. And I don't know if that's necessarily a positive message towards a game player. I mean, time is money, but at the same time, you got to support your community and reward them for the time they're investing.
Yeah, well,
right?
people are looking for cheap and easy ways to be basically saying, oh, you're good.
Yeah.
And, you go to
Self-recognition,
Farmville. Yeah, exactly. So, I grouped some turnips, and aren't I great because I got 15 points and I can put a badge up on Facebook. Now, if their whole community says, you're a fucking idiot, well, then that game doesn't work.
That's the thing.
But everyone is, ooh. Now, I want to get that, and because it's all about who is the A personality, and because it's all driven with tribes.
I think it's been very interesting to watch Facebook in the last 6 years with the fact of having games on it and seeing how it went from spam to posting different content, and how many people are actually not paying attention to those viral.
I think it's also a change of generation too, right? I mean, let's face it.
That's
the future.
We're growing older.
The future of consumership is pretty fucked up.
I agree.
Well, you know what? It may in our eyes because we're old now, because we're over 21.
But
we just don't see what the future's going to be.
We just don't know.
And like in 10 or 15 years,
I can
some
tell you
awesome stuff's going to happen.
I can tell you the future, and it actually is user-generated content.
All right, Jay. Well, for the next 5 or 10 years. Yeah. But in 15, 20 years,
15, 20
it'll
years.
be out the window. It'll be something. It'll be some weird stuff that's attached to
one
your
of the
skin
funniest
or
things, and if we're going to talk about gaming certain systems, this guy actually used his Google AdWords credits to get more Dropbox
really
space.
That's
I thought that was pretty funny.
Well,
that
it's
was
kinda sad
that was a
in
few
a
years
sense.
ago, yes, but I thought that was still pretty interesting that he had gamed
I-
the system that way in order to gain more storage.
Well, I actually, I must admit, I do that with every application. It's like, if you spam out, you will get X amount. And I always spam out. What the hell, They're just my followers. I don't give a shit.
So okay. Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh, what has he said? Oh, you
Bob,
bastard.
Come on, they're special. They're what makes social media
Yeah,
work.
they're what makes social media work.
Hey,
if Bob got a badge for every time,
I love the sarcasm dripping from Margaret's voice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that's Bob's number one achievement. Send 300 of the same messages in the same day.
True.
But he actually
I want to
means
get
it.
to 1,000.
Is that who Bosco was talking about in the last show?
No.
I want to tweet out 1,000
But here's
things.
the thing: Bob actually has
Check this
relevant
podcast
content.
out.
He actually has relevant content, and by thanking the people that he has that are actually. And Bonnie should be pressing the button again to make that yellow bird go faster.
I know.
Just watch.
Gaming
coaching
tips.
for
Live gaming
bored, so
tips
she's
at the
playing
Bunker
games.
Show.
Yeah. So
Bonnie's
let's.
addicted to Angry Birds.
Well,
It's
it's
the
true.
gaming section. She's playing games.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That is relevant
So let's
content.
jump back.
Okay, let's bring it
Oh,
all.
she's also playing
we're
games, 'cause I was
almost at the
totally
end.
just
We're
doing
almost
Bejeweled.
okay, we're almost at the
Yeah,
end.
Bejeweled.
Yay.
Go to Stormcrow, support the guys that made
So-
Bejeweled.
So anything else happening in games?
Okay, let's see. Borderlands 2 just came out last week. It's amazing. Go check it out. If you like shooting things in the face with guns, it's pretty fun. And you can do it with friends.
Tiny towers.
Sorry,
Tiny
Marcel
Tiny
just
Towers.
loved
I
that
talked
line.
about that a long time ago.
Marcel.
On the-
I
yeah.
just
Oh man.
spat my beer all over
Yeah.
myself.
Tiny Tower for
the
iPhone.
with guns part was a big twist ending.
And this is just for Jeff. Tiny Tower
Officers of the VPD who may have
for
been
iPhone
listening.
5 is much better because you actually get an extra floor that you can see.
Oh, isn't that nice?
But if you play it on a Samsung, you can
Thank
actually
you.
see
Good idea.
30 floors. Oh!
And
All right.
burn.
And as Marcel will say, it's not about the size of your iPhone.
And it's still not
how
available
you
on
use it.
BlackBerry.
Exactly.
And the BlackBerry is awesome. I don't know if anybody saw this. I know this is digression, but they did a video called, and you can find it. It's the VP of development that did a video basically saying to developers how much they love them. It's one of the best YouTube videos I've seen of a company in a while. Just being like, we love you so much. And the fact they're all playing their own instruments and they actually made their own song, hilarious. So I give props to BlackBerry.
Very
Cool.
Canadian.
Marcel
Very
had
Canadian.
something to say there, I think. No.
So
the moment was lost.
The other great
Yeah,
things are
something
Pokemon
about-
Black and White 2 came out. So if you got kids, pick that up. Probably be a good Christmas gift. Get a DS.
Okay, so before we wrap up the show, any amazing social media tips and tricks? for
Actually,
kids
I've got a.
Okay.
You're right. We are running out of time. Craig Griffiths in Australia right now. He's down under there, right?
and- What are you doing, dude?
Yep.
I want to close the show off with with this topic: is podcasting dead?
No.
Because Craig Griffiths put up a post on LinkedIn saying is podcasting dead, and he long ago left the thread because a couple people started like taking it a little bit too personally and started saying, "Hey, what are you talking about?" and all this kind of stuff. And
You're an
Craig,
asshole.
Was it you?
Craig left.
Were they
it
social
wasn't-
media douchebags?
It wasn't me because I thought it was a good question, and
Leo Laporte said that like 3 years ago.
no, but he did that. For
Publicity.
for publicity. Hey, wait a minute. Craig, were you doing that for publicity?
No.
No. But the thread just never. I get an email every time someone comments on it, and it just keeps going and going and going. So people are finding it
Thread
and
that will never
commenting on it, and
die.
it just keeps going and going and going. It's awesome.
Just like podcasting.
Yeah. So why do you think podcasting is dead? Or
Or not.
Why do I
or
ask
what
the
do you
question?
mean? Or what do you mean by podcasting is dead?
Okay, I thought. See, podcasting in its purest form is I believe anyway, a single topic like you guys. You get together and you're very niched in what you do when we discuss beer and social. I mean, okay, we drift around a lot with digressions and so forth, but it's the people who are passionate about the subject in a non-commercial way, even though it's still commercial, but it's going to be taken over by the big people. Like the most successful podcast in the world is Rick Gervais, who's already got a radio show and a television show, and he's just blasting over the top. CNN, NBC, they're all going to start taking it over, and it'll modify what podcasting is. You won't be able to compete against podcasts supported by mainstream. So is the essence of the basic podcast dying off? Is it the enthusiast going to be pushed aside? And that was my question. And it turned into, we're going to come around your house and burn it down.
Yeah, it did get a little crazy.
Okay.
No,
I think what's great about podcasting as a new media is the big people and the little people have an equal chance to actually make something of it. I mean, you look at, this is really dumb and nobody knows about this except me in this room, but there's something called Rob Has a Podcast. It's a former Survivor contestant who has a podcast.
Dude, Rob from Boston?
No, the other Rob.
Not Boston
Naked
Rob?
Bob?
The Rob that sucks, as they call him. He came in third in Survivor Amazon. Anyone remember him? Just me. Anyways, point is, he has a podcast.
Did you get it on Big Brother Canada?
Oh, hey, let him talk.
I did not. All he interviews is just former Survivor and former Big Brother contestants, and he makes enough money to get by. He doesn't need a job. You know, he's a little fish in a big pond. And what I love about podcasting, it's evolving. You can be a little fish, and you can make a little bit of money. Like, yes, the big people are coming in, but it's still a new media. Like, I think it's far from dead. It's still figuring out what it is.
I think podcasting is all about engagement too.
Go,
Well,
Marcel.
Well, I think it's podcasting is about passion about a specific subject. And every client I talk to that gets passionate about a specific subject is saying you should do a podcast and educate and tell everybody why you're excited about what you're excited about. It's like we have the locksmith maven here, right? Great guy. And he wants to do a podcast because he has all these franchise guys that are crazy about locks.
Yeah, Terry the locksmith.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who gives a shit about a lock? Well, you know what?
Terry does.
You get a shit about a lock because
when you're
if
locked out, you care.
Yeah, exactly. When my car is broken, it's scary. So the reason he's getting so many hits on YouTube and so many hits on all the other social media things he's doing is because all he talks about is his passion.
Yeah.
And his passion is locks, making things safer, blah, 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 blah. So anybody that's not into that doesn't give a shit, but who cares? That's what great marketing is, understanding what your target market is, what they want to listen to, and then providing that content. And if you do that, like...
All tarts all the time.
Exactly.
All the tarts you want.
If you want, I was talking to the tart girls earlier.
All the topless tarts you want.
Exactly. Topless tarts, sweet tarts, any type of tarts. It doesn't matter because the more they talk about tarts, how to build a tart, how complex it is, these are the temperatures, these are the recipes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a great YouTube video.
Exactly.
How to build a tart.
Yeah. Exactly. Blah, blah, blah. The people that watch it.
Just gonna
He
leave
wants to
that.
say something.
I'm just
I
gonna
wanna see what
leave.
he's gonna
I'm
say.
gonna leave that one. I'll let Marcel say.
I
it.
want
The tart, she wants to know. Do you want to?
I was gonna say if you do a topless tart video, that'll get like so viral so quick.
Oh, I know. It would be. Well, it would be just like the joke. Has everybody ever watched?
Bob did one, or?
The problem is.
Yeah, maybe if Bob did one. I don't know. He's kind of tardy.
I don't know. Topless Bob sounds pretty gross. But the thing is, if you do a great show about what you're passionate about and tell all the secrets, people will be so blown away how difficult it is to do that they will call you and say, please, just give me 12 parts. And that is how social media and content marketing works. You just tell them, hey, you want to do tart? Here it is. It's so freaking complex. You're going to do this, and this is the temperature, blah, blah, blah. Marcel, what do you want to say?
Craig, are tarts dead?
Greg loves tarts.
And who wouldn't
Craig,
want 12
Tarts
parts?
are
our
not dead.
special guest from Australia, what's the last word for this crazy, crazy show?
You got 3 seconds.
Tarts are not dead. Long live the tart.
Oh,
Long live the
well
tart.
done. Long live the tart.
I think that's the name of the episode.
Long live
All
the
right.
tart. Thank you very much, Craig.
Thanks for listening to episode 110 of The Bunker Show.
Hey, who sponsors us?
Wix.com, the easiest place to create a website
The tarts use Wix.
Wix.com.
online.
Wix on, Wix off.
Hey, you guys, you use
use
Wix,
Wix, yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
Aren't they awesome?
And don't forget the wicked witch of the
Yeah,
Wix.
she's saying yeah.
Wicked.
Wicked.
Yes. Good evening from the Wicked Wicks of the West.
Bye-bye.